I'm Mega Mike the Movie Man, and I have a mega movie plan. Today, I'm back with another Mega Movie News Roundup episode for you all. Yeehaw! This is a segment on the channel where I cover the 5 most important Mega Movie News stories to come out this week. We're going to cover Tom Cruise's Iron Man, Batista no longer Drax, the Avatar 2 trailer, we got Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, and then finally Ezra Miller being replaced. So we're going to get through all those stories. If I forgot any movie news story and you'd like it featured in its own movie news episode, make sure you email me at megamikethemovieman@gmail.com. It's completely free. Just let me know your name and your news topic that you would like to see in a future movie news episode. But without further ado, let's get started. Now to get into our first mega movie news topic, and we have to talk about the online rumors that Tom Cruise was going to be Iron Man in Doctor Strange 2. Now, these were just completely made up rumors. This was never going to happen. But let's pull up an article that I found by people.com, and the headline reads, Tom Cruise was suggested to play Iron Man in Doctor Strange 2 after fan theories, writer says. So this is a writer of Doctor Strange 2 that had this interview with Rolling Stone. But this is where I'm reading from people.com here. Let's read the quote that the writer gave. Yeah, that was totally made up. I mean, there's no cut footage of Tom Cruise, he said of the online rumors. But I love Tom Cruise. I said to Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, at one point I was like, could we get Tom Cruise as Iron Man? I remember reading about that in Ain't It Cool News back in the day that Tom Cruise was going to be Iron Man. He added, as it was being talked about online, I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, a complete story based off just online rumors, but people were taking this and running with it. People were getting excited. They're all like, oh yeah, we're gonna see Iron Man again. We're gonna see Iron Man in Doctor Strange 2, and it's gonna be Tom Cruise. People were running with this made up rumor out there for some reason. I know it's fun to do that sometimes, but as an audience member, we got to be cautious of this, because I think some people were really buying into it, even though this was just completely fan theory, speculation, and some people just turned it into expectation, so might have been disappointed by Doctor Strange 2 by not getting that. But I mean, come on, let's think about it here. As an audience, would we really ever see Tom Cruise as Iron Man in a movie? To me, anything's possible, but I just highly doubt it. Even though, yeah, that would be cool. Just like the writer said, yeah, that would be cool. Think about it. Would Tom Cruise want to play Iron Man? Tom Cruise is already extremely successful. He's doing a bunch of Mission Impossible movies. That's his franchise over there. He has complete control over those movies. He's in Top Gun Maverick. He has control of that. And so he has big properties he's already working with. Why would he now want to go to an Iron Man movie that's part of a larger MCU universe and then have to follow a lot of directions of, hey, you know what, Kevin Feige, I'll do what you tell me to do because I know this is really your movie. You need to connect to the rest of the universe. Do we think Tom Cruise would do that? Do we think Tom Cruise would want to do that? Why? Why wouldn't he just want to keep with his Top Gun franchise, his Mission Impossible franchise? I mean, he can get a lot of Mission Impossible movies out, so why not just focus on that? Why would he take the time to drop all of that, which requires a lot of time and work, and then go be Iron Man in the MCU? I mean, I just don't see that ever happening, especially like a full-on standalone Iron Man movie, or Iron Man where it's like a really big part in a movie, like an Avengers movie. I don't think that would ever happen. Now, I do think we'll get Iron Man back again sometime, especially now that they have this multiverse elements at play everywhere. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see an Iron Man from another universe, but is it going to be a Tom Cruise Iron Man? I highly doubt it. I just don't think Tom Cruise would be down for that. I mean, the most I could see Tom Cruise doing is really just like a quick cameo maybe in a movie down the line. But even with that, I really don't think, what would be the purpose of that? Just to, please the fans? I still even highly doubt that. But especially Tom Cruise being the Iron Man for the next decade of movies, just don't see it. I do not see it at all. but it would be cool. I would be so excited for that. Tom Cruise is a very talented actor. I've liked Tom Cruise ever since seeing him in Legend. So he's a great actor, and I've enjoyed a lot of movies he has been in. So yeah, I would be down for a Tom Cruise Iron Man. I just don't think Tom Cruise would be down for that. And I think that's the most important part. Tom Cruise doesn't want to do it. Why would he, right? So that's the part that's kind of just making me say, yeah, don't think it would ever happen, but it's a fun fan theory. It's a fun rumor out there. It's great to speculate. But once again, I don't think it will be Tom Cruise being Iron Man. But I do think we will get another Iron Man, but I don't think anybody knows who that Iron Man is going to be. I don't think it's been decided. And I don't know if we'll get it quickly enough, because Endgame didn't come out too long ago. I think they still want to let that breathe a little bit. And so I could see us getting an Iron Man maybe in a few years, 3-5 years, at least within the next decade. I'm sure of it. But yeah, just not at the moment. I don't think so. But let me know in the comments below, would you be excited first to see Iron Man again in the MCU? Or are you like, no, don't bring Iron Man back? That's over with. That's done. They closed it up nicely in Endgame. Or are you like, yeah, let's get more Iron Man? And who would you cast for Iron Man? Would you have really liked Tom Cruise to be Iron Man? And do you think that's an actual possibility? Or do you have another fan casting in mind? Let me know all those ideas down below in the comments. Now to get into our second mega movie news story, and apparently Drax is done after this Guardians 3 movie. Let's look at this Variety article here. So headline reads, Dave Bautista says goodbye to Drax after Guardians Volume 3 wraps filming. It ended so suddenly. Alright, let's read on. Let's get some more details here. Just as Marvel movie fans were getting the chance to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on May 6th, they were also getting an update from James Gunn that filming had officially wrapped on the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The end of production marked the finish line for Dave Bautista's MCU tenure as Drax the Destroyer, a role he has repeatedly said he is retiring from after this third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Says, haven't found the words yet, Bautista wrote on social media about saying goodbye to Drax. It ended so suddenly, and I was on to my next film before I could process it all. End of a journey that changed my life. Bautista told Ellen DeGeneres last summer that he wouldn't continue playing Drax beyond the third Guardians movie, adding, the journey's come full circle and I'm ready to kind of step aside and wrap it up. I didn't think me leaving the MCU was going to be news because I figured everybody assumed it. This is how this works. We work in trilogies, and James Gunn has already announced that it's his last film, and when James is done, I am done. And so to me, this really isn't anything shocking, even though it is kind of bittersweet news here. We know that, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, it's done filming. We're good to go on it. I can't wait to see this movie because I've enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy character so much. Now, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movies, that first Volume 1 is just one of my favorite MCU movies of all time. It's still in my top 10 MCU movies of all time list. If you haven't seen that list video yet, I'll definitely link that in the description below. Definitely check it out after this video. But I still really like that first one. Now the second one, not so much, but there are great moments in the second one. So even though as a whole movie, the second one doesn't really work for me, there are some amazing moments in there, so I'll still watch that one just to see those really crucial moments, like with Yondu. I think that stuff is really powerful. But I am excited to see how James Gunn has wrapped up this trilogy of movies. And that's why I'm saying we shouldn't be surprised here, because this is what the MCU does. MCU does 3 movies. They do a trilogy for a standalone character or a standalone group of characters. They do 3. Right? I mean, Thor is now a 4th one. This is the first time MCU is doing this where we're actually getting a Thor 4 movie. And to me, that's pretty shocking because once again, we've been working in trilogies for over a decade now with the MCU. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see, we're getting a Thor 4, but reason why, I think it's because Taika Waititi hasn't done his trilogy of Thor movies. I think they'll count that as a trilogy, but with this Guardians Volume 3 movie, this would count as James Gunn's trilogy of Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So that's why I think it really does end here for this group of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, maybe some of them will pop up here and there in other movies. I think that's totally going to happen. But I think for this core set, just going on their standalone group adventures, I think, yeah, we're done after this third film. But at least 100% confirmed, we know Dave Bautista is done. Drax the Destroyer, we are not going to be seeing Bautista play this role again. And so, yeah, to me, it makes sense. I enjoyed Bautista's Drax character. I thought he was a really funny character. Gave some good comedic relief to the Guardians movies. Definitely would not have been the same without him. And Bautista definitely got a lot of, great things from this movie. He got to work on his acting. He got more roles, I'm sure, because of this movie. He even says now he's already on to another movie. So that's great news for Bautista. And I think he's gotten better as an actor over time. I just think now he needs to kind of land the right movies. I don't know if he's really ready for like a lead role in a movie yet. I've seen him as a lead role in some movies and they've been kind of a little wonky here and there. He's definitely a great supporting character, so I just think he can continue to improve and then hopefully he gets to that lead star status for me. But I see that improvement, so that's what I really appreciate about it. So I hope whatever he does next is awesome. I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, kind of bittersweet news here to know, hey, Guardians 3 is done. We're going to get to see it. But we're not going to be seeing all these Guardians characters again, especially we know Drax we won't be seeing again, at least from Bautista. But let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 being done filming and Bautista, being done as Drax the Destroyer? What did you like about his character in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Let's have those movie discussions down below. Now to get into our third mega movie news topic, and I'm going to share my thoughts on the Avatar 2 trailer. Yes, the little teaser we got. I don't know if you could consider this one a full trailer. I think it's just a little teaser. It's very short, and it doesn't give us a whole lot of context to the story, unfortunately. So I'm still really hoping we get a trailer like that, where we get a really good story, get a sense of what's really going on, because we don't get too much here. Now, I'll just talk about what we got out of it. Now, we know the title, it's Avatar, The Way of the Water. Now, I'm not a massive fan of the title. I mean, it's just like, okay, The Way of the Water, water's wet, alright. I don't know, to me it's not like the best name out there, but it is just a title at the end of the day, so it's not going to change if the movie's good or not good. Yeah, it is what it is, The Way of the Water. Okay, whatever. We'll go with that title. Why not? Now, the one thing about the title, with it dealing with water, it does kind of lead me to think, oh, are the other 4 Avatar movies we're going to get, are they going to deal with like different elements? So this one's about water. Is there going to be one about like wind, that's like them flying more? Is there going to be one about like fire? I don't know, are they in volcanoes or something? And then one more about like earth or something. I don't know. But Way of the Water, okay. For now, hopefully that title does serve a narrative purpose. We'll see with the other movies, and they are all connected in some way, but we'll find out. But there does look to be some good water scenes in this movie. It looks like this movie is going to really focus on that setting, and that's where I'm excited to see how this movie will look on a big premium screen, how it'll look in 3D. Usually I'm not really excited about 3D movies. However, if a movie is meant to be in 3D, that gets me more excited, because that's why they're crafting the movie with that technology in mind. And I think Avatar, The Way of the Water is going to have a big focus on that 3D element. So I think that'll be really cool. How can we feel like we're in the ocean with these Avatar characters? I think that's going to be really interesting. So if they can make you feel like you're kind of a part of their group in the ocean and just kind of gliding along the waves there, or whatever it might be, I think that could be a really fun experience. So that's what I think this movie needs to go for, is give us a visual experience and immersive experience we haven't really felt before, because really that's what the Avatar 1 movie was able to do, take us to a whole new world, Pandora, and just immerse us in a new setting that we really never experienced on a big screen before. And so hopefully they can make lightning strike twice with the same property here and give us another experience like that, because that's, to me, where the movie is going to be sold on. Unless there's an amazing story here. I don't know though. Once again, we haven't gotten a lot of story details, so I really can't tell too much out of this teaser. It looks to be like it's about family. Okay, yes, a lot of movies are about family, so it's not like that really intrigues me right away. Now, they can do that well, though, if they can give us some good messages of family and family sticking together. I like that line in there saying that, hey, this family is our fortress. So that's a good line right there. So if they have more dialogue like that, and that's really the main focus and a good theme and message throughout the movie, then yeah, this movie can work. I don't think it's going to be anything way too innovative and creative though, in terms of just the story though, but I hope the creativeness is on the technology aspects, because once again, we get to see a lot of water elements in here. We see those different little flying creatures as well, like even pop out of the water, and of course, the avatar creatures riding them. So that all looks really cool. So if they can, once again, have that technology work really well, and then give us a pretty good story to go along with it, I think I'm going to be happy with it. But once again, this was just a little teaser giving us a little flavor to it. Now, am I super excited about Avatar 2 just in general when I hear, hey, we got more Avatar movies on the way? No, I'm not personally super excited because I'm not like a massive Avatar fan. Yeah, I like the first one well enough, but it's never a movie like, oh, I need to go watch Avatar again. It wasn't really that experience for me, but I know people love this movie. And the first one was great, especially technology visual wise. And James Cameron is an amazing director. You never bet against James Cameron ever. I mean, come on, he's made the most successful financial movies of all time, really, right? With Avatar, and you still got Titanic up there, and just he's made good quality movies overall. So you never bet against James Cameron, especially you got Terminator 2 in there, True Lies, really good entertaining movies there. So I'm not going to bet against James Cameron. I'm sure this movie is going to be great. So I'm going to stick with the positivity here. Even though it's not like my movie I'm super hyped for, I still will go in and hopefully enjoy it and at least get some cool visuals out of it. So yeah, I'm kind of in that average range as a general audience member. But hey, that's what this movie needs to do. Get the general audience out to go see it. And I think it has a good release date time in December. Perfect holiday season. That's when a lot of people can go out to the movies. And I feel like this is going to be the movie people are going to pick. I don't think this movie is going to have a lot of competition around it, especially with, different things getting moved around. I think Avatar is going to be that movie people say, hey, you know what? It's time to go with the movies again with the family. You know what? Let's go see Avatar 2. I think that's where the movie is going to draw on the audience. But let me know in the comments below, are you excited for this Avatar 2 movie? Are you excited from what we've seen from the teaser? Were you hoping for more? And what do you expect out of this movie, both financially, visually, story-wise? Let me know just overall your thoughts on Avatar 2 down below. Now to get into our fourth mega movie news story, and apparently the writer is getting to work on Kevin Feige's produced Star Wars movie. Okay, this is awesome. I know this was mentioned before about there possibly being a Kevin Feige Star Wars movie in the works, but it kind of was like, not too much said about it. But now we get a little bit more concrete information from the writer here. So this actually was some information brought to us by Star Wars News Net, and they got this information from Variety. But a quote here from the writer, and the writer is Michael Waldron. The headline reads, Michael Waldron has begun work on Kevin Feige produced Star Wars movie. Now, Michael Waldron also worked on other Marvel Studios projects like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We're actually just mentioning this writer a little bit ago. So the quote here is, we're finally into it in earnest. I mean, I'm writing away. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying having the freedom on that to do something that's not necessarily a sequel or anything. It maybe has a little bit less of, it just doesn't have a bunch of TV shows and movies that you're servicing on top of it the way I did with Doctor Strange. So it's nice. It feels like a different exercise. Okay, wow, this is key information here. So even though it's a Star Wars movie, it's not a sequel Star Wars movie and it's not connected to the other Star Wars movies that we have gotten before. Okay, wow, this is a big shock. This is a surprise, something different here. And I actually like this idea because I feel like with the Star Wars movies, we're always getting the same Star Wars characters and they keep going back to very similar storylines. And it's just kind of the same thing rinsed and repeated over again. But now we're getting something different that, yeah, it's in the Star Wars universe. But remember, Star Wars, tons of stars out there, planets, galaxies. I mean, right? There's tons of space they can utilize within the Star Wars universe. And so this looks like it's going to be in that universe. It's a Star Wars movie, but a completely separate story. And I really like that. I get intrigued by that. And I'm a casual Star Wars fan. Star Wars isn't like my number one property of all time, but I've really enjoyed a lot of the Star Wars movies. Even some of the movies that some people haven't enjoyed, I've enjoyed a little bit more. But I have been let down by Star Wars lately. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker was the one where I was just like, no, just no. I cannot find a lot of positives here. And that was the first time a Star Wars movie just offended me. That I was just like, not for me, this isn't working anymore. And I was on board with the other Star Wars movies. I was going with the trilogy here. I was like, Force Awakens, yeah, it's like a repeat copycat of A New Hope. But okay, it was still done well enough, so I'm on board. Then they did The Last Jedi, and I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with this one because it's a different kind of Star Wars story here. They did a different angle than I was expecting. So, okay, I'm still on board with it. But then when they got The Rise of Skywalker, I'm just like, no, this is just not working at all anymore. This trilogy was totally not planned at all. So, that's okay. We washed that away. We're on to a new project here. But what gets me excited is the writer here. Once again, he's done MCU projects before, like, once again, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is a movie I enjoyed. I think I enjoyed it more than most, actually. Even though it wasn't perfect and the script wasn't perfect, I think in the middle area it did kind of lose its way a little bit. It started strong and it finished strong enough. And so overall, I was okay with the script. But hopefully now this writer, Michael Waldron, has learned from it and now can even do a better script here. And what's great is, like he said, he doesn't have to worry about the other TV shows or connecting it with the other movies. No, this is a whole basically new, fresh story here. So that's good. So now he can really, show us what he has with his writing ability. So I'm excited with that. So I think we got a solid writer here. Right? It's not the Morbius writers, so that's a good sign. I'm sorry, you had to do a little jab at the Morbius writers, even though I still have fun with Morbius, but we know that script was all over the place. And then you also got Kevin Feige here, which Kevin Feige, yes, the Kevin Feige, is the best producer of all time. He is the GOAT. So, if Kevin Feige is truly being the producer for it and is really going to have, a large focus on this one, is going to be through all the planning process and really monitor the movie, make sure, they're within certain parameters, right, to make sure it runs smoothly, then I think that's a positive there. And I would be so just excited for this movie. So, good thing is apparently it's in development. To a certain extent, at least they're doing the writing part of it. Now, does that mean 100% we're going to get this movie? No, because you could still write a script with it, and then they could still end up pulling the plug before it starts going into filming. I think once we get to it starts actually filming, that's when we're pretty safe. Of course, some things still could go wrong, but once we get into the filming, we're definitely really safe, and I think the movie will happen. But it's still another step towards that. And so I'm excited by the premise of this. I'm excited by who's involved with the movie. And I'm just excited because I want to see great Star Wars again. So I want to see us to get back to, what made Star Wars awesome in the first place. So I'm pretty hyped for this movie, but let me know in the comments below. Are you excited by a new Star Wars movie, especially one that's being produced by Kevin Feige? Does that get you hyped? Or are you not really a Star Wars fan anymore? And why aren't you a Star Wars fan anymore? And just what are some of your favorite Star Wars movies of all time? Let me know that in the comments below. Now to get into our fifth and final mega movie news story for this week, and we got to talk about Ezra Miller being replaced finally by Warner Brothers. So let's look at this article here. This is from Screen Geek. It says exclusive. WB considering replacing Ezra Miller as the Flash with Dylan O'Brien. Okay, let's read a little bit more into this. It's unclear how many actors have topped WB's list to replace Ezra Miller as the Flash. So that first to me tells me this is just one of many names. It could be a lot of names on this list. However, one such name, once again, just one such name that a source close to the situation has informed us about is Dylan O'Brien. The 30-year-old actor is known for roles in both television and film, including the MTV series Teen Wolf. He also played the lead character in Love and Monsters. Now, Love and Monsters is an awesome movie, one of the best movies in the year it came out. If you haven't seen that movie, very underrated. A lot of people don't know about it. Go see Love and Monsters today. That's a movie I feel safe recommending to everybody. It's an awesome little sci-fi adventure story in there. So really great. But yeah, if this is the actor they're going for to replace Ezra Miller, then cool. I'm all for Dylan O'Brien getting this part. But we have to be cautious here, right? Let's not overly just automatically say, oh, it's confirmed. We know this is the actor replacing Ezra. No, that's not the case here. This is like, oh, hey, somebody next to the source here told me that this was a name on a list. Yeah, but where are the other names, right? Where's the list? Let's go through all the names. I'm sure there's tons and tons of names on that list. So there's no way WB has gotten even close to choosing a replacement yet. Yeah, I'm sure they've discussed like, oh, okay, we need to take care of this replacement, right? This Ezra situation is not getting any better. So let's start getting some casting choices in mind. Yeah, so maybe they started a list, but it's probably a long list. I doubt they're going to be choosing the replacement this quickly. Now, some things where it's like, okay, maybe they are moving more quickly on this than maybe they would have before is because now we have the Warner merger that just happened with Discovery. So you have that merger, and so the CEO is probably looking to course correct things, right? He wants to help the DC universe, right? Get that on the right track. So I could see things like this happening, right? There's already been replacements made at executive positions. And so, yes, David Zaslav, the CEO there is definitely, moving with some speed there, right? No pun intended. But for a Flash replacement right at this moment, I just don't think this is going to happen as quick as some people think. Because remember, the Flash movie doesn't even come out until 2023 now. Remember, it was really delayed, so June 2023. That's a long time away. That's more than a year away now. And so we still haven't gotten that movie yet. We don't even know how that movie is going to do. So that means they probably wouldn't even work on another Flash movie until at least 2-3 years down the line. Why would they make a casting decision just so quickly? No, that's not how it works in Hollywood. It's not going to happen like that. So maybe they do have a list together, but I think this is going to be a while before we actually hear a confirmation of the new Flash. And who knows, there's still a possibility this movie comes out, it does amazing, everybody likes Ezra Miller's performance in the movie, they want Ezra Miller to continue with the role, and Ezra Miller gets the help that they need, and Ezra's all good again, right? I mean, this could happen, right? Like I said, this movie is still a year away. So many things can happen in a year. So to me, it's not there yet for us to say, hey, we know Dylan O'Brien is going to be the next Flash. No, we are not there yet. Now, I do think Dylan O'Brien is a good choice. Like I said, I think the Flash CW TV show actor is also good. Grant Gustin. I know a lot of people have been wanting him to replace, and I think that would be fine. I think he was great on the CW show, at least for his performance part of it. So Grant Gustin, I'm good with that choice as well. Or, like I said, Dylan O'Brien's another good choice. But once again, there's probably hundreds of choices out there that could work. So I don't think there's anything definitive yet. But let me know in the comments below. First of all, have you seen Love and Monsters with Dylan O'Brien? Make sure you watch that movie. It is great. So what did you think of that movie? Also, do you think Dylan O'Brien would be a good choice to replace Ezra Miller? And do you think they'll still go through with that replacement? Or do you have another fan casting choice in mind? Leave those in the comments below. So that will do it for another Mega Movie News Roundup. Yeehaw! This was episode 22. If you missed some of my recent movie news episodes, I will link those in the description below. Also, if you need to be caught up on the Ezra Miller situation and you missed all that backstory, I will link that video down below. Make sure you check those videos out, of course, when this one finishes. Also, if you're just discovering me for the first time, make sure you subscribe right now. I'm going to get you tons of movie news weekly, movie reviews, rankings, movie hauls, unboxings, physical media topics, you name it. We'll talk all things movies on this channel, and I don't want you to miss any of that entertainment value. So subscribe right now, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss when I post a video. Do it.
You did well.
Also, like the video, and this is Mega Mike the Movie Man, reminding you to make every day a movie day.